Welcome, friends. Thank you for joining us today in our study of the Holy Scriptures and in a continuing series of questions that Jesus asked. Today, the question that we are looking at is found in the book of Matthew, the 5th chapter. Jesus was preaching his wonderful Sermon on the Mount, and as he speaks of that, he says simply this: "And if you love those that love you, what reward have you? Do even the publicans the same?" This is one of those passages of scriptures that we simply have to put in the context to understand what the Master is saying. Some might, if the passage is isolated by itself, conclude that God does not want us to love those that love us. But the passage is not teaching that. And let's just look at the context to see exactly what Jesus was saying. The 5th chapter of the book of Matthew records and begins the recording of this Sermon on the Mount. It occupies and takes 3 chapters, chapters 5, 6, and 7, to record this sermon that Jesus preached. He gives first the Beatitudes, and then he talks about things that they've heard from the law and things that they must recognize is addenda to the law. First of all, as he speaks, having given the Beatitudes, he said, "You heard that it was said, 'Thou shalt not kill, and whoever kills shall be in danger of the judgment. But I say unto you, whoever is angry at his brother is one that is in danger of the judgment.'" The Jew was under persuasion that hating a brother is not something that would necessarily make him in danger of God. But Jesus teaches otherwise. You can't hate your brother, and you can't you can avoid the matter of killing someone, but if you have animosity and hatred in your heart, Jesus said you're still in danger of the judgment. And the second statement is, "Thou shalt not commit adultery." And Jesus said that you need to recognize that that is something that is certainly forbidden. But on the other hand, that doesn't stop there. My danger as far as standing in God's disapproval doesn't just lie with the fact that I actually committed adultery. But Jesus said that whoever looks upon a woman to lust after her have committed adultery with her already in his heart. And therefore he teaches that we have to take care of our lust. For he said, if your eye offends you, pluck it out. Better to enter into life with losing one eye than to have two and to be cast into torment. Thus, Jesus teaches us that there is more to being condemned by God than just simply actually committing the act of adultery. He teaches us that we may, by lust, have the desire, and if we had the right circumstances, would do what we did. Jesus said that's the same, and that will also put you in jeopardy. You must not lust after a woman. Then the Lord said this. He said that you've heard that it said, "Thou shalt not forswear thyself, and shalt perform unto the Lord thy oaths." But Jesus said, "Swear not at all, neither by the heaven, it's the throne of God, nor by the earth, it's the footstool of his feet, nor by Jerusalem, it's the city of the great King." He said, don't swear at all. Rather let your yea be yea, and your nay, nay, that you fall not into judgment. Jesus teaches that I must recognize that I can be wrong with God because I swear. And then he said that let your yea be yea and your nay, nay, falling into judgment. I shouldn't have to confirm to a person that our word is true by swearing to God. Sometimes individuals can't speak without saying, "I swear to God." No, my friend, you ought to speak in such a way that you tell the truth at all times. And you don't have to swear to God to convince a person that what you're saying is so. And then, having said that, he talks about something else. He talks not only about swearing. But he says, in regard to this, that have you not heard him say that an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth? That is, retaliate. If someone knocks out your eye, knock out his. If he knocks out your tooth, well, you knock out his. He said, no, you don't do that. He teaches you that it's not an eye for an eye. If someone does enemy to you, an injury to you, well, then the Lord says, if a man smites you on one cheek, turn to him the other also. If he goes to law, takes away your coat, give him your cloak also. If it compels you to go with him a mile, go with him too. Who of us are willing to do that? We better be, because that's what the Lord said. He teaches me that I should be willing to go the second mile with individuals. And then he comes to the final thought, and that is that you have heard that it had been said of old time, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thy enemy. But Jesus said, don't do that. No, it's not simply something that I have the right to hate my enemy, but rather the Lord teaches me that I'm not only to love my neighbor, but I'm also to love my enemy. Jesus does not teach me that it is wrong to love those that love me. Our Father gave us the example. He teaches us what it means to not only love one's neighbor, but to love one's enemy. He said that when a man, that you're to be like your Father in heaven. Why? Because he makes his sun shine on who? Just the good? No. He makes his sun to shine on the good and the evil. And he makes his rain to fall on who? Just the good, the just? No. He makes his rain to fall on the just and the unjust. Do we need the sunshine? Sure we do. And who gives us the sunshine? God does. And to whom does God give his sunshine? Why, to everybody, good and evil, bad and good. Is rain necessary? Yes. Rain is necessary. It is necessary to nourish and to quench the thirst of the crops for the animals that are in the field. It's necessary. And upon whom does the rain fall? Just the good? No. Falls on the bad. Good and evil. Now, who does that? God does. And what does he show? He shows that he loves those that are good, and he loves those that are bad. And nothing shows that more eloquently than the fact that God so loved the world, that he gave his only begotten Son, that who believeth in him should not perish, but should have everlasting life. Who did Jesus die for? Just the good? Well, he died for the good, but remember that there's no man that's perfect. But as we consider, yes, he died for those that live good lives, but still are imperfect and they've sinned and they need that sacrifice he made for them. But what about the wicked man? The one that is malicious and does wicked things. Did Jesus die for him? He did. My friend, he did. And what did God show in this? God showed that what it means to love those that love him and to likewise love those that hate him. He gave us the example. And so when he said that you've heard that it had been said, love your neighbor, he said, if you love those that love you, what reward have you? You see, my friend, it's just natural for us to like those that like us, to love those that love us. There isn't anything wrong with that unless it's some kind of an impure relationship. But if it's a pure relationship, a friend or a mate, there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, that is good. But Jesus said that there's more to it than that. There's no reward in that. My reward comes from the love that they manifest to me. But there is a reward to me in that I love those that hate me, that I treat those with kindness that treat me unkindly, that I pray for those that abuse me. Wonderful is the teaching of our Master, and nothing is that demonstrates it more than this marvelous Sermon on the Mount. And these words are words for us to chew on and to reflect upon and to practice. We not only love those that love us, we must love those that hate us. Thank you, my friend. May God bless you and yours this day.